This is a laser. It's an Epilog Laser Mini 18, which means that you can put something that is 12 by 18 into the machine. It can go up to 4 inches deep. For engraving, for cutting, you can use 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch wood to cut. To turn on the machine, it's 2 switches on, 1 switch off. So the number 1 switch is here on the yellow extension cord, and you can hear it starting to fire up. And the other switch, number 2, is on the fume extractor. And you want to make sure that you see those blue lights. To turn it off, you just hit number 1. This is a control panel. For basic laser operations, you'll need to know the following. Green is go, red is pause, the curly arrow is back to home, and then the double arrow that has a 6 by it, that is focus mode, and then the up and down arrows will raise the table up and down. Now I just mentioned a table, so I'm going to show you what that is. This down here, the honeycomb, that is called our vector or cutting table. We have a separate one for engraving. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the machine and show you how to put in a piece of wood and to focus it, and also to engrave and cut it. When you go to put a piece of wood into the laser machine, you want to dip it down and slide it into the upper left-hand corner. You can see the 2 rulers here. The next thing we need to do is focus it. Focusing means that it has to be a certain distance away from the laser head. So the wood has to be a certain amount of inches away from the laser head. We use this laser focusing tool, which usually hangs up on the outside of the laser, and we put it onto the pins. Then we go into focus mode, and then we can raise or lower this as needed. So I'm lowering it right now, so you can see if we tried to laser here, it would be out of focus. So I want to bring this up so it's touching the wood, which means it'll be in focus. Okay, now it's in focus. I'm going to go ahead and take off the focusing tool, and I'm going to hang it up on the hook on the right side of the laser machine. I'm going to hit the back arrow to return to home, and then see that job 1 is ready for us to use. So we want to go ahead and close the lid, and then we'll hit go. You will see it engrave first and then cut. It always goes in that order because once it cuts, it's no longer in focus. So we'll see engraving first and then cutting. Things that you want to watch for, you always want to make sure that that little spark of light that you see, that's the laser, that spark is always moving with the laser. If you see something that is embering, you know, like the little red embers you see in a campfire, or if there is a flame away from the laser head, that means your material's on fire. And you just need to reach over and turn off number 1 and keep the lid closed. It's always important, and the number 1 rule in MetaSpace is that if you are using the laser machine, you are always watching it. So you can lift it back up to take it out, And then we can see our laser engraved name tag. To change out one of the tables, like the vector one that is in here right now, and change it out with the engraving table, we're going to go into focus mode, and we're going to drop this down. Then we are going to lift up the rulers, and we're going to carefully lift the tray or the table out, lifting it on a slant and pulling it out. And then we are going to put in the engraving table and put the rulers down. We use the engraving table when we're engraving only, and why we do that is because it's got a nice, firm, and even level surface. The honeycomb looking table is for vector cutting. So it's for cutting of your materials. You can also do a combined job where you're doing raster, which is engraving, and vector, which is cutting, using the engraving table. Once you're done cutting, you will need to open up the front door of the laser. It's a little difficult to do, but what you need to do is put one hand inside and one hand outside and push really hard to open up the door. It's got a magnetic seal on it that is very strong. What we're going to do next is take out the crumb tray. So the crumb tray collects any small particles of wood that come through the honeycomb. And what you want to do after each time you're done cutting is empty the cutting tray into the garbage. And then you can put the cutting tray back. And then shut the door. And we always leave the lid down when we have the machine off.